Hi, everyone. Teresa Lysam here with Decoding Your Superpowers for this week's chit chat and nerd session. I am on my own again today, but Linda is here in spirit. Hopefully, she'll be back next week. But this gives me an opportunity to really um, clarify some things and offer things that I'm passionate about. And so I want to talk today about how knowing and understanding your superpowers can help you on your wellness journey and your self-care habits and how to create something that's sustainable that you can shift and um, have some flexibility with, but yet be aligned with who you are in your life. So I'm going to share with you some ideas, and I would love for you to think about where you fit into this. If you hear something that sounds like you, I hope you take note and you're able to use something right away in your life that can help you create a better wellness journey for yourself. So let's go ahead and dig in. Many of you know that there are different categories of strengths or superpowers that all of our strengths, our superpowers fall into. And I call them domains, but they're categories. There's four main categories. And that's like the overreaching way that you show up in life. It's your innate, organic, natural way of thinking, processing, being in the world. And the more we understand that and know that about ourselves, then the better our life will be, the better decisions and choices we can make. So I want to start with the relationship building category or domain. You'll hear me flip-flop back and forth between the two of those words, but they mean the exact same thing. And this can also be referred to as a connector. I am a big relationship builder. That is one of my dominant domains. And that means a person is very social. They like to connect with their right people. So I know who the people are that help me thrive and flourish. And those are the people I want to be connected with and do things with. So if you think that you're a relationship builder and a connector and you love your people, people energize you, then you're going to want to approach your wellness as a social event. Some, whatever you're doing, some activity that involves other people because other people energize you. So to align with your natural tendencies and your natural desires, then knowing that you are a relationship builder, then you can leverage that and use that to your advantage. So some ideas that you could use in your wellness is have that social piece built into your wellness journey, your self-care habits, whether it's just calling somebody on the phone, connecting with somebody on social media, share with them what you're doing, and just get other people involved. You could do a walk and talk. So if walking is something you want to incorporate into your wellness routine, then get a person involved. Either, partner up with them to walk at a specific time during the day or during the week so that you're talking and moving all at the same time. You can just have an accountability partner where you and your partner or your group of people are sharing what you're doing that day or, texting them. I did my walk today. How about you guys? Or when are you gonna do your workout? What are you doing today? Like, so you're conversing and interacting back and forth about what you're doing in your day and what they're doing in their day. And it's a way of motivating everybody to keep moving forward with their wellness plans. You might want to participate in sharing meals or sharing recipes with your group of people that you want to be with that are all on this, have agreed to go on this journey together. So you can see where I'm suggesting no matter what it is you want to do, you involve at least one more person. I know I prefer working with people. That's why me and Linda work so well together. We're both relationship builders and we do better. We're more creative with another person involved. My brain works better with another person around, which sounds kind of funny. So reframing your wellness journey as thriving when it's woven into relationships. Okay, they're very social and supportive and joyful. So if you come into a fitness routine or fitness habits or diet, nutrition, ways of eating, see it as a social event and you'll be able to stick with it and sustain it a lot longer than if you're working it alone. Let me see if I have some other suggestions. It could be friends or family members interested in health and wellness. You can, offer to create a support group or a buddy system, as I already suggested. And then make sure you celebrate within your social circle, your wellness social circle. Celebrate everybody's progress, celebrate everybody's wins, share the smallest, minute wins with the group, and just really get into it and be happy for each other. So that's some suggestions for a relationship builder who are energized by people. The next domain or the next category would be a thinker, a person who loves to think, who spends a lot of time in their head, who loves systems and planning and researching. So this person's going to be able to create a sustainable wellness lifestyle with those systems and research and using trackers and just really thinking about what it is they want to do or really planning out what they want to do, reading about some other ideas, learning from other people. This all feeds into and energizes a person who is considered a strategic thinker, the thinker person. They that will fuel their consistency. So if you find yourself not being able to be consistent, then find what category you fit into and leverage that. So as a strategic thinker, you might really want to plan out your day, each day. You might want to plan out your week. You might want to set a monthly goal. So, these little small incremental goals you could set for yourself. You can have a tracker or a journal or use an app that helps you keep track of your statistics and your numbers. I know my husband is a runner and he has kept track of his running statistics for almost our entire marriage in a little journal. He loves tracking that way. I don't care. It doesn't, that's not something I'm interested in, but he loves it and it keeps him motivated. So again, think about yourself. Do you a person who loves to think and process and learn? Then this might be some suggestions worth remembering or jotting down. So your way of aligning with who you really are is that tracking, maybe researching, again, learning from other people, planning in your head. You want things that are measurable. That's going to really give you the clarity that you need. Make sure you define your health goals very specific, get very clear on it. Not a real generalized goal, but a very specific goal. I want to be able to run a 5K in 3 months, and this is how I'm going to prepare for it. Every week, I'm going to run an extra mile. Every week, I'm going to add this strength training in. So you're planning step by step how you're going to get to that 5K goal in 3 months. And that's going to allow you to stay motivated and stay consistent. You might be able to really pinpoint what's working for you and what's not working. Again, it's keeping track, paying attention to that stuff, looking at those little details. You might have those timelines in. You might have potential obstacles that you might run into that you want to plan for. And that analysis, don't be afraid to analyze the data. You are all about data. You love data. You love, looking at the trends, making informed decisions and adjustments based on that data. So you might want to read articles, watch videos, attend workshops, learn things related to health and wellness. You might want to listen to wellness podcasts. All of those will keep you motivated. Now, the third category, the third domain is the executor, the doer, the action taker, get her done person. This person needs structure and routine to help them move along their wellness path. And taking action is what really energizes this person. They love to check things off of their to-do list. So don't be afraid to leverage and lean into that. If you love to-do lists, then you create a to-do list for your wellness, daily wellness journey. But routine is going to be your friend. So you might want to create a 10-minute daily strength routine that you can be consistent with. It doesn't have to be an hour going to the gym every day. It could be a 10-minute body weight routine that you can stick to every single day or 3 times a week or whatever it is that you choose to do. Having a standard breakfast routine or template. You're always going to eat a protein and a green and a smoothie, and that's your routine every day. Same, similar breakfast. Boom, boom, boom. You don't have to think about it. You just can do it. You might have a bedtime routine that is non-negotiable and you stick to it. You follow the steps, the same routine every night to get your brain and your body ready for bed, because that's all part of wellness. So you thrive on structure. You like simple, repeatable actions that you can check off daily, no matter what happens in your day. They're non-negotiables. You love to get things done. You love to have measurable outcomes. So again, you're going to want to make clear, measurable health goals for yourself. I want to exercise 30 minutes 5 times a week at 9 o'clock in the morning. So the more specific you can get, the better and the easier it will be to stick to it. Create your structured plan, your routine. You want it with timelines and steps. Again, that's going to energize you, knowing what to do. You're not a person that's just going to wake up and whatever happens, happens. You want that structure and that routine, either weekly or daily. And you have some flexibility within that, but it's generally going to be the same structure. You might benefit from a tracking system as well, whether it be an app, in a journal, on a calendar. Just mark off the days on the calendar, print out a checklist that you follow every day. All of those are going to work for you. You might want to have an accountability partner as well, where you can have regular check-ins with somebody to help you stay on track. And if they're a structured routine person as well, that might be even better. But they could fall into a different category and you could still serve each other. You just have different perspectives and different approaches. So that is the third category. The fourth category is the mobilizer, the influencer, a person who is very expressive and very sensory and loves moving people forward right along with them. They are an inspiration to others and they can figure it out as they go. They're very high energy. So they might love music, music powered movement. They might like to do Zumba and dance workouts. They might want to walk with their favorite playlist with a group. They might be inspired to create their own walking group that they can kind of organize and lead up. That would feed right into a mobilizer, an influencer. They might be the person that organizes the meal sharing or the recipe sharing or shares what fun new nutritional habit they've created for themselves. They might be somebody that shares all this on social media so they can be an inspiration to others. They're a very visible person. So this person thrives on enthusiasm and variety, playfulness. Again, wants to be an inspiration. Having others come along for the ride is motivating for themselves as well. Let me see if I have any more examples or any more suggestions here. And again, this person, and you're going to notice a pattern that I've set. Everybody in each category needs to have really specific health outcomes or health goals that they want to achieve. So that's important for everybody, no matter what category. But the influencer is really rallying support from others, for others. They're very encouraging. They would be the person that would start a challenge. I challenge you to run 1 mile every day with me because I'm going to do it and let's all do it together. That is this type of a person. And again, it's important to celebrate small wins. Of course, you want to celebrate with the group. And so each person's success is encouraging and inspiring the people in the group. And of course, you're going to want to stay accountable to each other and be very encouraging to one another as you move along this journey. So hopefully you can see that these four categories, once you know where you fit into them, you can lean into them and leverage them in a way that's going to help you create something more sustainable, funner, more joyful, easier, because you're not fighting who you are not. You are flowing and aligning with who you are. So I just love this approach to health and wellness. It's very customizable to you. And if this is something you want to explore more, please reach out to me. I would love to help you figure out which category you fit into if you weren't really sure. And you might fit into two categories. Some people do that, but most people have a dominant category. And not that we couldn't bring pieces of the other categories in, but you want to really use and leverage your natural talent, your natural way of doing things. Because why not? So it's going to be easier. It's going to be more in a flow with you, and you're going to be able to sustain it into the long term, well into the future. So I would love to help you figure out where you fit in this and what would work for you and your health, wellness, and self-care journey. All right, that's it for me for today. This is Teresa Lysam signing off. Linda, thank you for listening in today. And I'd love to hear a comment where you feel what category you fit into. If you have any questions, leave those as well. DM me, reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. All right, my friends, have a great rest of your day. Bye.